Hey, this is C&D Channel. I'm Chris. This is Dave, and this is MMA for you. We're going to be doing our predictions for UFC Fight Night 42, Henderson versus Khabilov, which happens on June 7th. So we got the former champion Benson Henderson in the main event. Man, what do you think of this card?
Well, that's why I'm back. Benson Henderson. That guy's my boy. So let's just go for it. Let me tell you what I got to say. Okay, the main event, right?
Yeah.
Who do you got?
I got I got to go with Benson Henderson here.
Why? You always don't pick him.
Not always.
From 3 out of 10, you don't pick him. Stop picking my boy. Yeah. But anyway, Benson Henderson, why he's good? Okay, we don't even. Besides talking about other the opponent, let's just talk about his record. 20-3 record, 2 KO, TKO, 8 submission, 2 lost by sub. I think this record has been beautiful ever since we've been talking about him. 30 years old, trained in the MMA lab, former UFC lightweight champion. Okay, now let's not talk about his reference. Talk about what he can do. Good leg kick. Everybody knows about me. I love his kick. Good stand out, good cardio, resilient, strong scrabbler. I mean, really strong BJJ. And plus, when he gets you on the ground, oh man, good ground and pound, KO right there. So let's Chris talk about why our opponent cannot win.
Cannot win?
Yes, no way.
Nah, you got to give Rustam Khabilov some credit here. 17-1 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. He's 27 years old on a 6-fight win streak. This guy is really, he's streaking pretty much. He trains out of Jackson Winklejohn, and he has a Sambo background. I mean, this guy wins fights with suplexes.
Now I want to interrupt a bit. I love people who have Sambo background because they are dangerous.
Yeah,
they will suplex you to hell. Yeah. But I think Henderson is much more well-rounded. Obviously, we all know his ground and pound is deadly, and I think there are opportunities he can take him down, have a ground and pound. I mean, I just think overall striking, Henderson upper hand.
Yeah, it's tough to say with Rustam because the thing is, we have yet to see him in 5 rounds. This is a 5-round fight. We know Benson can go 5 rounds. Yeah, and most of his fights go 5 rounds.
Absolutely. That guy has a good cardio, no doubt.
Rustam Khabilov, really good in the clinch, which actually should be really interesting because I remember when Benson fought Josh Thompson in his last fight, he got taken down by clinch-style takedowns.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that should be really interesting right there.
But the Henderson have a really good scramble. I don't care how you're going to take him down. His scramble is...
He can scramble back to his feet pretty well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that should be interesting. Stand-up-wise, Rustam is pretty good. He actually knocked down... with a spinning wheel kick, he knocked down like Jorge Masvidal. He's shown some very confident, more than confident stand-up. It's good stand-up. It's very Sambo-ish.
But Henderson has a good leg kick as well.
Yeah.
And not just that, he is very resilient.
Yeah, exactly. A tough guy to finish unless your name's Anthony Pettis. One thing that also goes in Benson Henderson's favor, though, is that for some reason, if this fight goes to scorecards, the judges, for some weird reason, love Benson Henderson's offense.
I love Benson Henderson.
Yeah. But there's just something about his offense that gives him points above the other guys' offense. I think on Bloody Elbow, Conor Rubish actually made a comment about Benson. He's really good at the art of he called it the art of BSing. Pretty much what it was like, if this guy gets hit or something, or his back gets taken, he acts as if it didn't do anything to him. And in the judge's eyes, just stuff like that. Like there's one, in his last fight against Josh Thompson. Dude, Josh Thompson. Yeah.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, Josh Thompson gets his back, right? Benson, they're in standing position, Thompson on his back. Benson Henderson kind of walks to the cage and fixes his hair. I mean, it was just the most casual thing. And
I didn't get hit.
Yeah, like I'm not in danger. You know? I'm in so little danger that I can fix my hair while this guy got my back.
Absolutely.
For example, that could be part of his reason why the judges love his offense so much. I don't know. It could be.
That kind of confidence, +1.
Yeah, exactly. But Henderson, very competent in all areas of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Really strong guy too.
Yeah.
The clinch is a really interesting part because Rustam has the sambo background. And his clinch takedowns are really good.
But it's safe to say I don't think Gustavo can suplex Henderson. I don't think that will happen.
Gets his back standing, maybe gets a suplex. Kind of doubt it, but not outside the realm of possibility.
So see, that's why.
But he can still take him down.
Of course.
Yeah.
So beside the decision, what do you think about just standout-wise? Do you think Henderson will be winning on that perspective?
I think he can get the leg kicking game going.
Awesome.
Rustam has a very he has a very sambo style striking. It's not very technically. It's like Khabib Nurmagomedov has it too, and Fedor in a sense even had it. It's not very technically sound. It's not pretty striking, but it's effective.
Okay.
He kind of has that style, but it's still not his strongest point. I gotta go with Benson Henderson doing this one, but don't sleep on Rustam Khabilov.
I see what you're saying. So overall, it's gonna be a good fight. It can go possibly either way, but I believe Benson Henderson can win this fight.
Yeah, he's also fought the higher level competition.
Absolutely.
And all those weird X factors with the guy too, just like the judges saying and whatnot. I mean.
And one more X factor. He's my boy.
And he's his boy. He's actually half Korean. Yep. Half Korean. So yep.
Next one.
Okay. Next one after that we have Ross, the real deal Pearson versus Diego, the Dream Sanchez.
I don't care what anybody say. Alright, I'm the old school. People watch the video, follow us, knows. I'm old school. I like Diego. Diego Sanchez all the way. 24-7 record, 6 KO, TKO, nice submission. Alright. He's getting old, 32 years old. He's still younger than me. 2-5 losing streak. So what, right? He trained in the Jackson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Everybody follow this guy knows he's aggressive. All right. He push forward. Even if you take a chair, he still push forward. All right?
He actually would.
He would.
That's a funny thing.
His good chin, brawler. If you see today's card, you will see I basically pick up all the brawler because I love the fight, love the resistance, love the aggressiveness. Strong BJJ, all right? You go down with me, I go down with you.
That guy actually, for all, whether you think he's regressed or not, the guy still has one of the strongest mounts and the strongest back mounts I've ever seen.
Absolutely, man. This guy is freaking amazing. Good wrestling, strong cardio, Yeah, I know. People say he has a weak defense, but you know why? Who cares?
He has the weakest defense.
You know why?
This guy eats punches and wants to eat, and he dares his opponents to eat more. Look at the Gilbert Melendez fight for an easy example about that.
That is why he is, amazing, because how many fighters you tell me can do Rocky style? He is the one who can do Rocky style.
Yeah, but he's not slurring his speech Rocky style because of it. I gotta go with Ross Pearson. It's just he has a 15-6 record with 1 no contest, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO, 2 losses by sub. 29 years old, training out of Alliance. He's a good boxer. His overall defense is pretty good. He's a good counter-punching game, good takedown defense, and his overall grappling is improving. I will say this, though. He has shown to have something of a weakness for Diego's style, in a sense. Pressure fighters.
Of course. Pressure fight is not that easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Melvin Gillard, who he had a DQ win or no contest. I forgot what. I think it was no contest, right? Total. Melvin Gillard really pressured him. Cub Swanson. He's doing good against Cub Swanson, but Swanson managed to knock him out. Who else managed to pressure him? I'm missing someone that beaten him before, that has a really strong pressure style. So that can really work against Pearson. That I'm a bit concerned because if there's like Diego kind of regressed as a fighter. To be honest with you, he's kind of a brawler now. He throws a lot of hooks and haymakers and uppercuts.
And then one thing I want to emphasize, if you watch his fight, I don't know, maybe for me, sometimes he got hit, he still, with his hand, somehow hit somebody else. He can still, I don't consider it counter, because I consider he just, with his hand, try to get lucky, but he does do
sometimes, sometimes, a lot of times he punches air, though.
I know. But you know what? But he has a heavy punch, yo. I'm just saying. If you punch him, he will waver around, okay? He is not type of person that can take punch and go back down. As long as his head go back, he go forward.
Yeah.
It's like you're fighting a zombie, dude. How are you going to win a zombie?
It really is. And Ross has to finish wear his work shoes throughout the whole fight and stay technical this whole fight because Sanchez, like I said, he's not always the prettiest fighter these days.
He's not.
But he can be effective if given the right opponent.
Yes.
So Ross Pearson though for the win for me.
No, either way, Diego Sanchez. Let's go.
Next fight after that we have I'm picking John to win this one.
Wow.
As Dave-Dodson fights John Moraga. So I got John winning. Who do you have?
Dave-Dodson.
You also have John too, huh?
Well, 15-6 record, 7 KO, TKO, 2 submission, 29 years old, very still young. Training Jackson as well. I mean, this guy, I like him. He's kind of well-rounded too. Good boxing. Heavy-handed, very quick, strong takedown defense. Strong counter. Wrestling. I like the kid is well-rounded like that, especially have a wrestling background. Also, was a good standout. Because a lot of wrestlers, they just think, "Oh, I wrestle. That's all I need."
Actually, what's funny with Dodson, when you see his fights, he uses the wrestling in reverse. He's one of the few 125ers. I mean, this guy weighs 125 pounds, right?
Man.
That actually knocks opponents out. And he's knocked out 135ers. So he definitely has some pretty heavy hands. Actually gave the champion Demetrius Johnson some trouble in the first 2 rounds. I actually wobbled him. John Moraga, good fighter, 14-2 record, 2 wins by KO TKO, 6 wins by sub. He's 30 years old, trains at MMA Lab along the likes of Benson Henderson and Yaotzin Meza. He does have some solid stand-up. His wrestling's good. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, not too bad. He managed to choke out Chris-Caraway, for example. Well-rounded enough, but Dodson, in my opinion, I'm going with Dodson. I think he has a much better stand-up, and I think he can defend the takedowns from Moraga as well. I got to go Dodson here.
Yeah, because he has a wrestling background as well. So I pick John Dodson because he's a stand-up.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Next one.
Yeah, next fight that. Rafael dos Anjos fights Jason High.
Well, do I have a choice? Rafael dos Anjos, right?
You always pick the BJJ black belt, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you see today's pick, it's all my old boys, man. It's like a reunion, like how I coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, let's talk about him. 20-7 records, 2 KO, TKO, 8 submission, 29 years old, BJJ black belt. I mean, do I need to say, you see my pick. I love BJJ black belts, improving, stand out, good takedown defense. I mean, that's it, BJJ black belt.
Exactly, man. Well, one thing about Dos Anjos, man, is that fighting Jason High, he's cutting down to 170 for this fight. Jason High has an 18-4 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 8 wins by sub, 2 losses by KO or TKO. 32 years old, on a 2-fight win streak, training out of ATT. He's a really good wrestler himself with some strong top control. He has really good front chokes like guillotines and whatnot. An overall good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I wouldn't say it's as good as Dos Anjos.
No way, Dos Anjos got crazy Jiu-Jitsu, man.
And then stand-up's average. One thing, if I'm gonna make a comparison with this fight, I'd actually kind of go with how Mark Bocek fought Rafael dos Anjos. You know, a guy with average stand-up, with good wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills himself. Those Anjos managed to beat him up on the feet and defend all his takedowns. I can quite honestly see that happening in this fight. Hai is arguably a better wrestler than Bochek. Arguably, because Bochek's actually not that bad of a wrestler. And the thing with Dodson is just not too well-rounded. His stand-up is greatly improving. Good leg kicks. Showing a lot more power in his strikes.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to go with Rafael dos Anjos to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, regardless of stand, just looking on the BJJ, his BJJ is just, I think it's way over, you know, Jason's head. It's easy.
Cool. Next fight after that, we have Yves Edwards versus Piotr Hallmann.
Yves Edwards, 42-20 and 1-1 record. That's
Yeah, he is very experienced.
right. What's his nickname again?
The master of Thug Jitsu.
It's the Jiu-Jitsu, man. Come on. Of course I pick him. I know, again, don't call me, but I love him because of the Jiu-Jitsu. 16 KO, TKO, 70 submission, 4 loss by KO, TKO, 4 loss by submission. 37 years old, you know, trained ATT.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very experienced. Look his record. You know how many fights he been there and done now, okay?
More than 60 fights.
Jesus, this guy, 37 years old, he been there, done that. He knows what's going on. So, young kids, you know, I don't think it's gonna work. Strong kick boxing, strong counter striking, way underrated on grappling.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, you can see it as 17 subs, but a lot of people don't realize just how good that he is on the ground. I mean,
He's the Jiu-Jitsu, man. Of course he's good.
But you know, a lot of people know Yves Edwards for stand-up, but
Yes.
but his ground skills are pretty good. You know, he knows what he's doing down there pretty much.
Absolutely.
I can't say he's like a specialist at taking back or something, but he's been around the block. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's more important. And how's his chin?
Deteriorating, man.
What does that mean?
That just means that guys like Yancy Medeiros managed to knock him out. Sam Stout's managed to knock him out. Tony Ferguson's managed to wobble him.
Yeah.
He's a guy that has been getting wobbled or flat out knocked out as of late.
And this is just a little disclosure. I'm picking because I like him. Okay, so don't blame me if he lost.
He's been putting over to Hallmann though. Good fighter, solid prospect. Has 14-2 record, 7 wins by KO TKO, 6 wins by sub. 26 years old. Real resilient guy. I remember when he fought Massaran Duba, he got kicked in the body. And looks like he was going to go out, and he kept going. Kind of pushes forward a lot.
He's young. He can do zombie style.
He's his stand-up's solid. He's just a solid fighter.
Yeah.
You know, stand-up's good. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's good. Going back to the Massaran Duba fight, he actually Kimura'd him.
Oh, wow.
You know. I can't really say Piotr is like a specialist anyway. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't say he has a better stand-up than Edwards. I think he might be able to crack the chin.
I think he might take more. He might be able to take more. But you know, either way.
You know, exactly. You know, he's just him being a younger fighter, not as shot worn, and being just solid. I mean, like I said, I can't really point to where the guy specializes at, but he's solid everywhere. I gotta go with age over experience here, or youth over experience here. Piotr Hallmann for the win.
Okay, if Erik was just die-hard fan, man, and you know, I kind of want to say maybe the experience can win a fight, but yeah, 50-50. Well, next one.
Okay. Miss Misha Tate, Bryan Caraway fights Erik Perez.
Erik Perez, man. You know why Erik Perez? You know what's his brother? Must win Perez. Not just kidding. 14-5. You know, 14-5 records. 4 KO, TKO, 7 submission. 24 years old. Training again, Jackson. We got Jackson whole training camp over here to kick ass, man. So if you beat Erik, everybody else gonna beat you out. No, just kidding.
Yeah, John Jones trains out of there.
See, it's again. You see my pick today. You know, brawler, heavy-handed, good chin, good BJJ.
Yeah, man.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah, actually, when he fought John Albert, he submitted him. He showed a good chin against like Takeya Mizugaki. Overall heavy-handedness. I go with Bryan Caraway.
Wow, he's still your woman.
Now, I'm actually more of a Rousey fan than a Tate fan, to be honest with you. And mainly because the arm bars. Yeah, I actually.
So you like a rough woman? Got it. Continue.
Caraway has an 18-6 record, 1 win by TKO, 16 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by submission. He's 26 years old, training out. I think he's still training out of the Team Alpha Male.
Nice.
He has some strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, good wrestling, and actually he's at his best completing his takedowns against the cage. Most fighters who have their backs against the cage and he's trying to force a takedown, he usually completes a takedown.
So Erik, do not go to the cage. Stay away from the cage.
Stay away from the cage. He has some good top control. And a remarkably strong chin, actually. This is a guy that's...
my guy got strong chin too, man.
Exactly. But yeah, a remarkably strong chin that showed against Diego Brandao in The Ultimate Fighter. And against... jeez, I've got the guy's name, but... there's another guy that kept like kneeing him in the face and like punching him in the face, and Caraway ended up like submitting him.
I see.
Caraway also has really good back control. Good amount of his wins are by rear naked choke. I gotta go with Caraway. I think he'll be able to utilize his wrestling and get the takedowns, get on top, and get the win with his superior grappling.
Well, Erik is 24 years old, still young. You know, brawler, man. You never know what's going on with brawler with heavy-handed. Plus, he's still my woman, man. So of course Erik gonna beat him out.
On the Fox Sports 1 prelims, we have Andy Pettis' little brother, Sergio Pettis, versus Yaotzin Meza.
Sergio Pettis, man. 10-1 record, 3 KO, TKO, 3 sub. 20 years old, very, very young, okay? This guy full with energy, this guy full with youth, alright? I mean, I don't know, man. Strong kickboxing, improving grappling. It's good potential. The guy has a good future.
You know, he could be a future champion. I mean, he's one loss is to Alex Caceres in a fight that he was doing really well in. He did get dropped. He ended up getting choked out. I think in the second round he got dropped, but he was doing pretty good in the stand-up against Caceres.
He's still young. He's still young.
Yeah, he actually kind of made what was kind of a rookie mistake against Caceres.
But he got a lot of years to learn, so I think it's good enough.
Trains at a good camp in Rufus Sport.
Rufus
with his
Sport.
brother. And whatnot. You know, I gotta go with Pettis here. You know, Yaotzin Meza, 20-9 record, 5 wins by KO TKO, 7 wins by sub. He also has 3 losses by KO
He's
TKO,
not
3
bad.
losses by sub.
He's good with decent with wrestling, but I still think like compared to kickboxing, compared to stand-out wise, I think Pettis has much more better advantage.
Yeah, it's one thing about Yaotzin is like I don't know what he specializes in. I mean, he got out grappled by Chico Camus in his last fight pretty easily. He's not the best striker or anything. So it's one of those things where it's like I always found Yaotzin Meza to just be like a guy, like in a sense. He doesn't specialize in anything. And his strongest points, other fighters are a lot stronger at his strongest areas.
He will be a good guy for Pettis to win so he can move on.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's coming off the loss to Caceres. Okay, next fight after that, we have the returning Lance, I think it's Benoit or Benoist. I'll say Benoist versus Vicious Bobby Voelker.
Vicious Bobby Voelker, man. Another brother. very game. I have to emphasize his very game.
This guy's gameness is insane. I mean, this guy like
it's king of gameness, man.
This guy like is always in the fight, even if he's losing. I mean, that's the thing. He's just very game. I don't know what other adjective to describe that quality. I guess always in the fight, but gameness is always in the fight. You know what I mean?
Because his gameness, what's his future? His future is he's gonna push forward non-stop. Another zombie fighter, man. You can beat him out, you can kick him, you can take a chair on him. He can move him forward, be in your face, and take your punches. Another thing, he's resilient. Okay, he's a brother. He's resilient. I mean, just on that fact, he's very much the fighter I want. Let's look at his record. 24-11 records. Not the best record, okay? But look, 15 KO TKO full submission. Alright? 3 losses by KO TKO. 35 years old, 3 losses streak, but this might be it,
Yeah. Both of these guys might be on the chopping block here because Chris-Benoist, 6-2 record, 1 win by KO, 4 wins by sub, 25 years old. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. It doesn't help Lance that he last fought, I believe it was Chris-Pearson in 2012.
Yes. See, he hasn't fought for a while, right?
He hasn't fought for a while. He has some good stand-up, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The thing is, he's so young. This is another case where I have to kind of go with youth over experience. I like Dave-Voelker.
Well, I want to disagree with you on this one because I feel like he hasn't fought for a while, and to come out to face a fight a lot, push forward. It's a mental game. You have to mental adjust, and the Bobby can take. Okay, it's not like you get 1, 2, 3 KO. Okay, it still requires some energy, some strategy.
He's I mean, the last guy to knock him out was Robbie Lawler, and Robbie Lawler's like insane.
Yeah, wow. So I feel like if your mental is not ready, I'm not saying Lance is not, but if your mental is not ready, you just come back for recovery. You might have a brain fog or something like that. You might by constantly hitting Bobby and not able to succeed. One moment, you just giving me one moment, Bobby can knock you out.
I can see that, especially if it's in the brawling exchange, it might not be the best thing for Lance here, but I'll go with Lance. Like I said, I like Dave-Voelker. He's actually one of my favorite fighters to watch. Never, almost never in a boring fight.
Yeah,
but
never.
it's just one of those things where, like I said, youth over. It really is just more of youth over experience for me here.
I kind of agree with you on the previous youth against experience. This one, I feel Bobby might get a chance, and we will see.
Yeah, well, they're both around the same level of competition anyway.
They are.
So, next round after that, we have Chris-Jorgensen versus Danny Martinez.
Do I even need to talk to this one? Chris-Jorgensen, man. Jorgensen 14-9 record. What the hell he has been doing? 2 KO, TKO, 5 submission, 3 losses by sub. 31 years old, 3 fighting lose streak. Okay, last time I was out, come back, he got 3 losing fighting streak. What have you watching?
I don't.
What the hell's going on, man?
I don't know what happens to the guy. He's
a good wrestler. He's a good scrambler. He's good front. He got good front choke. Average stand out, but he is pretty solid. Hands. Yeah, pretty solid fighter. What happened?
I don't know. He fought Faber and lost. Then he went down to 125. Fought Zach McCoskey and lost. But those 2 guys are really good. And then he just recently lost to is it Hussein Da Silva or one of the Nova Union black belts.
Okay.
And lost to him. Who's a really good fighter himself. So he's only been losing to top competition.
Well, his record has become very ugly.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, Danny Martinez. I mean, it's a good fighter. 16-5 records, 8 KO, TKO, 3 submission, 28. So training allies, good clinch, decent stand out, decent wrestling. But still, Chris-Jorgensen all the way, man. Heavy-handed.
Yeah, I remember seeing Danny Martinez's last fight against Chris-Caraway. So He looked just terrible. I mean, he would clinch for Curiaso and not do anything with it.
Don't even do Dave-Dodson, man.
Can't really do that to Jorgensen, I think.
Jorgensen gonna freaking eat you alive, dude.
Yeah, I don't think he can do that to him.
You wanna clinch or choke you to death, dude.
Yeah, he just looked largely unimpressive. I mean, this is a fight. Like I said, Jorgensen is on a losing streak, and he actually hasn't won. He's only won one of his last like 5. But the guys he's been losing to legitimately are very good fighters. Danny Martinez is a fighter that Jorgensen should be able to beat.
I think
I gotta go Jorgensen to win.
They are feeding Jorgensen a win here.
Yeah.
So if everything goes right, Jorgensen should win this one.
He should. Yeah. Next
one.
fight. Okay, we got Guam's John Tuck versus Jake the Librarian Lindsey. And yes, he is a librarian.
Why is he doing here?
It's kind of funny. He is a very unassuming guy. If you saw him, you'd think he's a librarian. You would never think that he'd be a fighter.
I like his record, 9-0 undefeated, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He 4 KO, TKO, 3 submission, first fight in the UFC. Good BJJ, average standout. He sounds good, he sounds legit.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to, I like an underdog. I like the John Tuck,
Mm-hmm.
7-1 record, 3 KO, TKO, 3 submission, 3 sub, 29 years old. It's an average standout. It's a good BJJ. Like some kind of weak cardio.
His cardio has shown to not be very good. He saw it against like Norman Park. He saw it against Tron. He trains at MMA Lab with like Benson Henderson. You see a lot of guys from MMA Lab fighting here, and a lot of guys from Jackson Winklejohn.
Yeah, Jackson.
And actually, there's like a couple of guys from Alliance on here. So you got a lot of guys from the big camps fighting on this card. It's a couple of ATT guys, right?
Yeah, ATT
guys. Actually, Jason High and Yves Erik. Wow. Yeah, a lot of good camps. Guys from good camps on this card.
It's camp advertising day.
But I gotta go with the librarian. I've seen this guy in the regional scene. He looks solid. Like honestly, he just stand-up's not too bad. One thing about him, he's not particularly athletic, but he always came across like a very smart fighter. I've never seen
He's
the
a
guy.
librarian.
Yeah, and which is weird because like every time I see him fight, he seems kind of like an intelligent fighter.
Nope.
I don't know how else to explain it, but and like I said, he's well-rounded enough. I particularly like his ground skills. I gotta go with Jake Lindsey to win this one, man.
Okay.
Yeah. And on the prelim card, that's going to be on Fight Pass. We have UFC newcomer Roger Narvaez versus Patrick Cummins.
Patrick Cummins. 4-1 records, 2 TKO, 2 sub, 1 loss by TKO. Train in the Regin King MMA.
Yeah, Rain and Kings.
Rain
is right here in Lake Forest, and King is in Kings is Westminster Huntington Beach, I think.
Oh man, we should go check it out. He's definitely a finisher, but never been past the first round.
Yep.
Good wrestling, good standing out. Roger is not a bad fighter neither. 6-0 undefeated record, 3 KO, 2 submission, 31 years old, 6'3", okay?
Yeah, actually, Patrick Cummins is pretty tall. He's 6'2".
Yeah, so it's a two giant fighting. On the first fight in UFC. To me, those two are pretty, pretty almost similar, 50-50, but I like Patrick better.
Yeah, I gotta go Patrick Cummins. His loss was to Daniel Cormier.
Daniel Cormier is good.
Yeah, Daniel Cormier could be a future champion.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance he could be a future champion. He took the fight on short notice. He got knocked out, but
But he's a finisher, though.
He is actually, legitimately, he's a good fighter. I've seen him in the regional scenes. He's a good wrestler, decent stand-up. He's not a bad fighter by any stretch of the imagination. I was actually wondering when they'd sign this guy. He actually has a pretty strong wrestling background, actually. Legitimately, Patrick Cummins has a pretty good wrestling background.
That's very good.
Yeah, I gotta go Patrick Cummins to win this one.
Agreed. All right, let's go recap.
Okay, so with Benson Henderson versus Rustam Khabilov.
Benson Henderson.
I got Benson Henderson. Ross-Pearson versus Diego Sanchez.
I gotta go with the old school Diego Sanchez,
Okay,
man.
I go with Ross-Pearson. Okay, John Dodson fights John Moraga.
John Dawson.
Okay, got John Dodson there too. Okay, Jason High versus Rafael dos Anjos.
Rafael dos Anjos, man.
Yeah, Rafael dos Anjos for me. Yves Edwards, the master of Thug Jitsu, fights Piotr-Hallmann.
Thug Jitsu.
I got Piotr-Hallmann. And Erik Perez fights Bryan Caraway.
Erik Perez.
Yeah, I got Bryan Caraway winning that one. On to Fox Sports 1 prelims, there's Yaotzin Meza versus Sergio Pettis.
Sergio Pettis.
Yep, Sergio Pettis here. Lance Benoist fights Dave-Voelker.
Dave-Voelker.
Okay, I got Lance Benoist. Chris-Jorgensen fights Danny Martinez.
Jorgensen all the way.
Okay, Chris-Jorgensen there. Okay, and Chris-Lindsey fights John Tuck.
John Tuck.
Okay, I got Chris-Lindsey. And finally, on the Fight Pass prelim, we have Patrick Cummins versus Roger Narvaez.
Patrick Cummins.
I also got Patrick Cummins winning that one.
Alright, dude.
So that's it for our predictions for UFC Fight Night 42, Henderson versus Khabilov. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And do you have any final words, my man?
Not much. I'm coming back again.
Yeah, man. Are we gonna see a show next week, man? We got some big pay-per-views coming up. Machida's fighting
Machida.
Weidman. Demetrius Johnson's fighting Ali Bagaitunov.
Wow, those are good fights. Man, Machida, I gotta go with Machida. But if you want to know more, you gotta view our next episode.
Okay, cool. So that's it for MMA for you.
Machida gonna win.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Thank you guys very much.